In this 444, I'm going to be sharing with you 4 of my favorite apps that I seem to spend most of my time using. I'm going to give you a whistle-stop tour around my phone. So the first thing to notice on my home screen is that it's purposefully black and white. When I turn my phone on, I don't really want it attracting my attention. Now you'll notice I do have a couple of little red badges on there, and I've recently turned them back on. But for most of my apps, I have no notifications switched on. And for the apps that are the biggest destroyers of my time, I have them tucked away so that they're not in my vision to distract me. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Hugh and I'm a retirement specialist and money coach at Proposito Financial Planning, based here in the heart of the Cotswolds. And on this channel, we look at the tools, strategies, and money habits that can help you make the most of your life force, and that's your time, your energy, and your ability, so you can live a life with more meaning and more happiness. If you like what we're doing, hit the like button, click subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you can find out when we release our next video. So on my homepage, there's a couple of really cool ones. So the first one that I tend to use a lot is Notion. And Notion is a note-taking app that we use in work, as well as I use personally. You know, we're building our knowledge base from our existing system into Notion. You know, we can drill into lots of things, and it's all nicely organized. We can edit and amend things, so it works a bit like a wiki, and Notion can do a whole load of functional things. But the great thing is, every time you start a Notion page, it's completely blank, and you can fill it however you want. You can have as much or as little detail in there, but you can make it visually appealing. And I'll give you an example. If we just go into our Vision and Traction Organizer, which is like our one-page business plan, you can see that visually looks quite appealing. For example, we can go into one of our core values, and you know, it looks pretty nice. So that's Notion. The other one I use every day is Readwise. Now, Readwise is a really good idea. So I read a lot on my Kindle, and I make notes and highlight bits. But the problem then is, making notes is great, but it's how do we resurface those notes? How do we find them again? How do we bring them to the top and reread them to remind ourselves? Because what happens with our memory is when we know something, our memory will degrade over time unless we remind ourselves with some form of spaced repetition. So by having Readwise collate all my notes from my Kindle and all my highlights from my Kindle, and it fires them back at me in a bite-sized chunk every day. So it gives me 6 quotes every day, or 6 notes from the books that I've read in the past, and resurfaces them for me. That might prompt me to do something with those notes. So we'll go into the daily feed, daily review. So this one's from Seth Godin's Purple Cow. That's a note that I made. And you get the chance to keep it or discard it. So I'm going to keep that one. This one I like, from Gary Taubes, Why We Get Fat and What to Do About It. We don't get fat because we overeat. We overeat because we're getting fat. Now I'm going to favourite that, because that's a great one. It's a completely different way of thinking about it. Because we're getting our fat locked up in our system from our bloodstream, then we don't have as much fat going around our bloodstream for energy, so we tend to eat more. It's a great idea. Another one from Gary Taubes, one from Leaders Eat Last from Simon Sinek, another great book. And top 5 regrets of the dying. People change because they want to, and people change because they want to and when they are ready. That's very similar to when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And a TED Talk one.